What's up, everybody? It is another episode of the amazing Hell's Kitchen. We're all about the black jackets, but there's some double eliminations going on. Let's get it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Oh, gotta get the finger point.
Yes. You don't have enough calories to do those finger points, Lamb. Save them. Save them, man.
I'm so hungry. Oh my gosh. Hey, that's a little bit. I'm gonna do the flat hand way. That's my thing.
Like I'm rubbing on a bunch of kids' heads. Like, there you go.
Oh my gosh. I'm delirious. I'm so hungry. I'm delirious. What's up, everybody? You know what it is. It's your boy Gonsalves here with another episode of Hell's Kitchen. So excited. We were off last week, but we are back, and we're going to make sure we don't leave you hanging. We're going to talk about both episodes, and we got a special guest, but we're going to bring in just a second. As I said before, I'm Lim. You can find me always at the Poet Saint all day, every day. I got my main man, my partner in crime, my ace boom coon. I don't know if I said that right. It's such an old reference.
I don't know what it is. That's great.
We're just gonna go with it.
All right, I'll take it.
My boy Frank Moran. What's up, man?
Hey, everybody! You can follow me on Twitter at HappyGoJackie. Now's the point where I make fun of Lamb eating all this popcorn, but we've got a special guest. We got to get right to it.
We got to get right to it. We got to do it all. But she's looking amazing and awesome. We got none other than Kimberly. What's up, Kimberly? Hey! We are doing amazing. Excellent. We are so excited to have you on the show. We've been waiting. This was supposed to be last week, and then we had some issues, but we are back. You are with us, and it's a great 2 episodes to do because you're like all over it. So I think it's perfect. Yeah, you should be. So we're going to get right into it. I'm going to talk, I want to jump back to the last episode, right? So the last episode, not the one we just saw. Oh, look at you drinking wine. Look at you.
Love it.
Oh, we celebrated. Classy over here. I hear you. I'm not mad. I see the hair swoop. I see you. Classy status. Black jacket. It's top notch. Bougie, absolutely. All right, so flashing back to the last couple episodes. So basically, this was where it was like the black jacket extraordinaire, right? Everybody's fighting for the black jackets. This is the coveted thing with Hell's Kitchen. You get to work on your own. You don't have to worry about the whole team aspect, so to speak. And when I say teams, the red and blue team is annihilated, and you're just by yourself. And so you actually, it was I had never seen this before.
Yes, I love the switch that they did and how they determined how the final 5 jackets were given out.
So it's 6 of you. Right. It's 6 of you starting off. And basically there's 3 different eliminations. So if you get on the top 2, then you're done. You get to go to the Black Jacket Lounge. Then you got the second choice. You're done again, and then it gets to the last 2, and the last 2 duke it out. And you were in the last of the last with Andrew, my favorite person, not at all. And so I just want you to kind of flash back to that moment. When you were, obviously, and you're doing good. I mean, it started off with, it was like you had to select these random ingredients, and then it went to something different. But then when you get to the end, how are you feeling when you're there? It's just you and Andrew. Everybody else is in the Black Jacket Lounge. You know there's only 1 jacket left. How are you feeling at this point? Right.
And I kind of keep proving week after week that I belong there. I wasn't there by a stroke of luck. I was there because I was busting my ass, trying to learn and keep up with everyone. So, I was excited. I knew that it was, sink or swim, and it was go big or stay home time. And, I watched Andrew fumble around that kitchen like, Bill, he was his own worst enemy.
will say though, during the end right there when you're plating, you're set up there first, and you're like, just kind of cleaning the plates, getting it all set really nice. Andrew's bumbling around, but then time runs out. I've never seen it in a Hell's Kitchen where somebody's still working in the kitchen, making their way to the pass. Yeah, because you're like on like MasterChef, they're really a stickler. Like, boom, you didn't make it to the plate on time, you're done. And they still let Andrew present. I thought Ramsay was going to eliminate him at that point.
What was it? Just like we saw, Kimberly?
Yeah, I mean, and I kind of like how they played like the background music. Andrew was just like sweating and getting all nervous, and I just walked him through my best, and I feel, kind of good that I had him shaking, but it was very high pressure for all of us, I think.
Sure, absolutely. And I mean, you're down to the last 6. No one wants, I mean, you never want to go home, obviously, but as I think it gets closer to, the top 2 to see who's going to win, the further you get, the more you don't want to go home because you can kind of see it happening. And you see it right there in front of you. When it's between you and Andrew and you're there and he's tasting and all of that is going on, are you at any, I mean, obviously you're nervous, but are you worried at all? Because I know you said you were going to beat him, but were you worried at just an inkling of worry?
Yes and no. Gordon had gone by, and he had given us both constructive criticism. I listened to what Gordon said. Andrew obviously not with the puree, but I remember we were up in Gordon's office, and we didn't know that our other black jackets was judging. We didn't know what was going on, but Andrew, had pretty much confirmed that his fish was, not as great as mine. And to hear him say that it was priceless. The entire time. I mean, people only see a small part of what I really endured.
Right.
He always bullying me and the other girls, and I'm just a loud one. I don't let people walk all over me, which is, why I was always involved in conversations with them. I was gonna let them bother me, and I don't know, dude. It felt great for Andrew to have to cry.
Whoa, like real tears?
Yes. Well, I think that the way that elimination or that selection of the Black Jackets was so well set up, because just a psychological mental toughness that you have, because if you don't get selected for the first 2 rounds, and that you're down to that 3rd round, but for Kimberly, like you said, like you felt like you were playing catch up and you were busting your ass that whole season, a great mindset in that 3rd round. But Andrew, who felt like he was entitled to that black jacket, I can see where it starts breaking down his psyche in that 3rd round.
Absolutely. And I, to me, honestly, I don't know why he was so cocky. Because to me, and we would talk about this every week, and I just felt like he would say more than do more. And anytime he really tried to shine, he really didn't do that well. No. Like, he really didn't. He really didn't. And
Gordon, not to interrupt you, but
no, go ahead.
Had made fun of Andrew, saying, oh, you went to the Cordon 2. You're more like a the Cordon 2, like, saying the Cordon Bleu 2.
Right. Right.
So it's, I don't know. I believe in karma. Karma comes around and,
Yeah.
it's a dick. And God that big, swift kick in the butt of fate. And, it's his fault. He should have been nicer.
There it is.
There was never elimination more this season that I was happy to see. Like,
I know, I was. Especially
you.
Going into black jacket, because I'm like, nah, dude, you don't even get the black jacket.
Nope, don't even get to touch it.
You don't even get to touch it, son.
He got to walk by it on the way out.
That's funny.
From the ceiling.
I love how, like, she said he had real tears. She's like, I wish they showed that. I wish they did too. Yeah, real tears. Well, I mean, like I said, I didn't think it was that good. He played the villain the whole time, like you said, and I think you get what you deserve. And he did.
And when you're shooting that, is that the last you see of Andrew until the finale, when him walking out the restaurant doors?
No, when I got booted off, what people don't know is they kind of keep all the cast off, the top 10, in the little beach house over in Venice.
Ah,
So when I got booted off,
you had to go see him.
door to my block of shame,
Ah,
and then live with him for one night, without any kind of stamping or
Right. Right.
We got along.
Yeah.
It was just,
There's no more competition.
you don't understand
Yeah.
how hard it is to be away from your family.
Oh, yeah.
And regardless, of what you're doing, or work-wise, or whatever, you're away from your family. You don't have your phone. You don't have a TV. You don't have windows. You're just surrounded by all these people that, you normally probably wouldn't say hi to or be friends with in a normal situation, but you're Like, you're almost put together to, just fight with each other.
Right.
It's like sipping brother cookies. I mean, that's what we all said.
There it is.
So it's,
That's actually, yeah.
I feel sad to have to have this guy.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see that. A lot of people on the show that have been portrayed in a negative light
Mm-hmm.
really aren't that bad. And I feel bad, but you gotta be smart. You can't let America think you're an idiot, because now everyone's gonna, everyone thought I was a dick. My people, I guess being on Facebook, that people have been calling me, some of the trolls we call them is crouching moron hidden badass.
Oh, wow.
What?
What? Okay.
Whatever. But yeah, it's just whatever.
There it is.
Did Andrew at all explain, like, hey, I know you guys finally found out that I have a girlfriend for the longest time, and I've just been flirting around with Heather. Whoops, my bad.
Honestly though, there's some speculation going on, but I think he had a girlfriend. I think everybody thinks he had a girlfriend, including the other parties involved.
Ah,
I don't know, dude. I don't wanna
No.
throw it under the bus.
understood.
I knew he had a girlfriend, and I didn't even talk to him. I'm sure other people knew he had a
Knew what was up. Yeah.
Andrew can just stay back in LA.
There it is. So you beat out Andrew. Right. You beat out Andrew in that episode. So then we go into the new episode. So you're still in the running. Frank, take it away.
Yeah. So Kimberly, what's it like the first time you get a black jacket? You go through your rounds, you knock out Andrew. Now you get a black jacket. How does your mindset change?
I was excited. I never thought that I would be in that situation or, that far advanced in competition. I just didn't want to be first, second, go home. I never thought in a million years I would be able to have a black jacket handed to me from Gordon. And it was probably the best feeling in the world. Next to having my beautiful daughter.
Mm-hmm.
We've been idolized for, at least 10 years. And, just to have, him actually decide on me, it felt great. It literally felt great. Like, I think I shit myself twice.
Please, not in the kitchen. Tell me it wasn't in the kitchen.
Dope.
For somebody that.
Oh,
Yeah,
shoot.
there you go.
See, that's why you're looking like both cheeks by Gordon Ramsay. Uh-oh.
They've never been washed since. That's it. So, Kimberly, for somebody that's idolized Gordon Ramsay for 10 years, now you get a chance to work for him in this competition. What's it like working so closely with Gordon Ramsay?
You're literally on midnight, shelf, and everything in between. Every second that you're near him, because if he's not judging yourself around him, you don't want to mess up. He is Gordon Ramsay. He sees all. He knows all. And it's nerve-wracking, but it's very rewarding when he notices you and says, good job, Kimberly, or laugh perfectly, in a positive way. That's awesome. But when he's ripping you apart, it's absolutely terrible. But it's, I don't know, it was awesome. And I learned a lot. One day he told me, literally, that Kimberly grabbed me and we started cooking scallops together, and I'm just like, holy crap, cooking scallops.
Wow.
And it's like, I didn't go to culinary school, so, having him right next to me as, like, my culinary instructor, I said, it's just bucket list stuff. It's awesome, but getting screamed and yelled at is just not so fun.
Right.
Yeah, I'm traumatized.
Of course.
So, what is something that Gordon Ramsay taught you or give you a piece of advice that has really changed the way you approach cooking now?
Honestly, he told me to, be positive in myself, believe in myself, treat my face as if, or my plate as if it was my face. One day he pulled me apart, from service, and was like, I was really bummed that I lost Orion in one of the last challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Because my plating wasn't, as perfect, but her and I had gone head-to-head. And he told me to treat my plate as my face, because I do my makeup very nicely. So I just treat my plate now, with a bit more respect. Clean filter up there, but that's pretty much it. And always adapt, in any situation. Don't let yourself not
Well, in this last episode, certainly learning to adapt, I think, really comes in key to the challenge because it's all playing. You're sitting in Vegas. You're going against the odds.
Vegas.
You're all sitting at a table. Ramsay's flipping over cards, and if you want that ingredient, you got to slap the buzzer and get it. So, what is your strategy for that? Are you trying to get every card as soon as it's popped up? Are you holding back on some and trying to nail the ingredients you really want?
Honestly, I had no idea what kind of greens, we were going to be, be a sweet pop. So I literally had that pause. You're kind of like, oh, what am I going to do this? What am I going to do that for? Like garlic or this or that. So you're kind of just like, and then you're just hitting it. You're just like, yeah, because you're kind of getting scared.
Right.
What the hell am I going to do with this? So it's kind of like, it was fun, I got to say. But it's nerve-wracking because what if you get stuck with all these things that don't go together and you're just going to look like an ass in your black jacket, So
Right.
It was hard, it was crazy, and, I never really cooked with black garlic before. So just slam my hand out on that, I'm like, oh, what did I just do? But I know, I love my potatoes.
Is there a big difference? I mean, now that you've cooked with it, did you find a big difference between black garlic and your standard garlic?
I mean, yes, I don't think it had as much of a bite. It was a little bit more savory and smooth than normal, like white raw garlic.
Okay.
It was a little more oily. I don't know if it's cured or not. I can't sit there and say how it's cured before it's sold kind of thing. God forbid I say the wrong thing and my Twitter's going to be flooded.
Kimberly,
That's so funny. Word.
so the way that the winner is judged for this, it's almost like King of the Hill. If you've got the best dish, you get to sit in the chair.
Right.
And each chef comes up, and if they don't do as good as the previous chef, then they just get passed on. If you do better, then you get to kick that person out.
Right.
So, of course, I feel like you get the short end of the stick because you're first. So that's like, hopefully, either
It's
you've just
tough.
got to be top.
Oh, yeah.
Or because you've got 4 other people you've got to defend yourself against.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And, I'd rather defend myself against the 4 people than, the 18 that we started out with.
Yeah.
But I always thought Gordon kind of always did put me first, which, could have been good, could have been bad. I'm always nervous having to go first. But, I thought my dish was pretty good. I knew my chicken was really good. I knew I had that black garlic, my mushrooms that I done, kind of like a baked potato, mashed potato style with, crispy bacon and chive and sour cream. And, it wasn't shown, but, chef had said in it chiseled. Both of my potatoes, But it's nervous. I was nervous all the time. And I was just hoping that my dish was good enough to allow me to sit in the chair.
Well, I was surprised because Paulie goes after you and knocks you down, and I've been up and down with Paulie this season in terms of like how he delivers on the plate.
Right.
But he held out a lot longer this competition than I thought. He went he knocked out three other people until it got to Heather. He was kind of ruling the roost there for a while.
Yeah, that's surprising because I do look to Heidi and Ryan, or Kim, Ryan. It's better chefs than Polly. And the first night Polly worked on our team was the first night we got kicked out as a black jacket team. And I say that was mostly Polly's fault. Polly just dragged us all down.
Oh. Yeah.
The dragger.
Oh, we'll get to that in a second there.
Well, I feel like he's. I mean, if we look at him the whole season, I feel like he's been very hit and miss. There's been times that he's shined. I think that was mostly earlier in the season, but as it's dwindled down and it's been less people, I think I guess maybe he's been exposed more as to not being as good as what he could have been. So maybe that's what we're seeing.
And you're Heather, and Heather wins the challenge, and she gets to take Heidi. So when you in that situation, and Ramsay goes, you got to pick somebody else to go with you. Do you at that moment realize, she's probably gonna pick Heidi, or do you all feel like we got a chance of one of us getting picked?
Well, Heather and I had a conversation the night before. I kind of apologized to her. She was upset that I took Andrew out.
Really?
Canoodle with anymore.
Oh gosh.
I'm sorry. We kind of developed a friendship, throughout the competition. Myself, Heidi, and Kim. Like, she was bad. Heather was a big fan, and I'm like, what? If I win, I'd like to take you, and then maybe, if you want to reciprocate, you win, take me, kind of thing. So I was under the impression that, when Heather won, I'm like, oh crap, I'm going to Vegas. I'm like,
Da 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 da.
and I'm like, oh my god, I can't really show it. I can't sit there and be like, oh my god, I can't say anything.
Right.
But I was very, very, very upset that she had taken Heidi over me. So, whatever.
I mean, I know you said you developed a relationship with her, but did she also have a relationship with Heidi, or it wasn't as strong as the relationship you had with her?
I think we were all like friends, but we're all there to compete against each other. I think we're all just like a bunch of backstabbing bitches. Be nice to each other's faces.
Right.
At the end of the day, we're all wanting to take each other out, and keep them out of competition. But I liked Heidi a lot. I maintained a relationship with Heidi since the competition. Heather as well. Ryan as well. And some of the other girls. But I don't know. The bitches are scandalous, man.
Scandalous.
A lot of people realize that I was significantly older than Heather, than Ryan.
Oh.
Yeah. I was, 34 at the time. 38 now. It's been a while since we've taped.
Right.
I felt that I was kind of like a bit more mature, even though it might not have shown. The show, but I just had a different mindset. So, Heather had made the pact with me the night before, and I wasn't going to let it get me down. I mean, after all, I had to clean up a bunch of garbage to save the world.
Right.
I know.
Save the world.
How?
There was a lot of cleaning up this season.
How long did that punishment last? Because that just looked miserable.
I think it was out there in the rain for about an hour and a half, in the got off of all the like foods and everything like that, and it was just disgusting. It was pretty gross, and then it really made me open my eyes to all the waste that's generated from all of us. There is the tenders and the staff. It was, my God, you're
Right. There it is.
You know what else those codes tell me is about stuff. So it gets organized by like code, which is
Now the dinner service though a little bit different now, because usually he's had somebody kind of run the kitchen,
Right.
But this time now he decides, hey, guess what, Aaron, Andy, you guys are not going to be my sous chef tonight. You're going to be at the dinner table, the chef table, and we're going to have you guys take turns at being a sous chef along with me. Sounds like a nice, cool twist on it.
I don't think I've seen that before.
He's
in
never done
previous
that,
episodes.
so it's kind of a Hell's Kitchen first, as they like to say.
That was kind of dope. I like that. No, but in talking about with them being at the chef table.
Yeah.
I don't think we had seen that part. It was different. For Gordon, them two kisses. Them kisses on the cheek.
Yeah, I guess that's interesting to think of, because we just assume like Gordon Ramsay is just that professional, but also he's a human being too. So if he's having a rough day for some reason, he can maybe help bring that into the way he conducts the service as well. So just little short statements, kind of quick to anger.
Absolutely. Were you? I mean, I know Gordon is Boo. As Bay, I should say, but when it was your turn at the pass, I mean, obviously you got to be intimidated at some point. Did you feel like even with the comments that he made, did you feel like you held your own though?
Yeah. I think for everything with me in the right place. I think I messed up the risotto.
Oh yeah.
Or something like that. But I mean, honestly, I have confidence in myself. I did go to culinary school. I'm not really too familiar with how things are plated, and unfortunately, I never got to go up there and really watch Chef Andy sleeping. So I'm trying to do things, I guess, from my instinct. But as I think you saw in the show, it wasn't right all the time.
Right.
So I don't know. It's just hard being around him. He just puts you in like 10 types of nervousness. It's just crazy.
Well, because I I feel for you, it kind of showed because you were asking lots of questions while you were up there. It just.
Always. Well, I think I got yelled at for something. They don't always show everything that leads up to like one particular thing.
Right.
So I think I might have put a little bit heavy or something like that, or still kind of been in that like stressed out where he called me a name when I was plating the risotto, and when we had the 212 tops, that was cancer event that we did. So of course, I'm going to ask questions. I guess I'd rather ask stupid question and at least know what I'm doing versus totally screwing up and getting yelled at and being like turning red and terrified.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna ask those questions, I don't know what
I feel like Kimberly, this whole season you've been like the question woman, because you literally like and I know that editing probably spices it up and makes it more than what it is, but I mean you make a good point, because one of the things that I didn't know, it might have came out at the beginning, I might have missed it, is that you didn't go to culinary school. And so for you, do you think that and like you said, of course you're asking questions because you want it to be right. Do you think that you did ask the questions you did, and the amount of questions you asked, because you hadn't gone to culinary school and you didn't have maybe some of the experience that some of the other chefs had?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I did ask a lot of questions. But I'm one of those people that anyone can, vouch for me. That you tell me something once, that I'm gonna pick it up. I'm not gonna ask you the same question twice. That's really annoying than just 8,000 questions.
Oh, like Polly, where he says, "Chef, what can I do?"
Right.
Yeah.
I'd rather than tell me do this, do that, than me, do something that unfortunately, take down my entire team.
Right.
I guess, when we're working as a team, we're all supposed to help each other. So I guess if someone was asking me questions, I'm not going to be bothered by that because they're my teammates.
Right.
For farther on down and it's like one-on-one kind of situation, I'd be like, should have friggin', done your research and learned, I'm not going to help you now, but in that team atmosphere, you got to help each other.
Sure. Absolutely.
We see Polly up there, and Polly's struggling, especially cooking that lobster tail. And I just want to ask Kimberly, when a chef says like, I'm cooking this lobster tail for 5 minutes and still not cooking, is there such a wide variance of? I feel like if you're following the rules, like it takes 5 minutes to cook a lobster tail, then that's the case. It's just like a question like my pan's not hot enough. Those little things that are making the difference.
Well, the sad part is that we pre-cook those lobster tails before they go into the beurre monté. The beurre monté kind of just heats them up a little bit.
Ah.
Richness of like the butter poached lobster.
Uh-huh.
And then he still was serving raw lobster.
Raw cooked lobster. Cooked. He was serving cold lobster.
Yeah.
I don't know. Paul's just he might say he's an executive chef, but at the end of the day, he probably works in a kitchen of one. So
I'm the executive chef of myself. That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Now, what is it like? I mean, because at some point when the scallops aren't getting cooked right, he says, "Eddie, hey, I hate to bother you. Could you get up from the table and cook these scallops there for us for a sec?" How bad do you guys feel when your sous chefs have to get up from their nice little meal they're going to have and start cooking?
it was bad. Andy too. She had these really big heels on. She was in this gorgeous green sequin dress, and throughout the entire competition, I really did feel that I kind of made a nice bond with Andy. She always answered our questions. She was great, always demoing stuff. She was very supportive. And to let her and Chef Aaron down and Chef Gordon, it was upsetting when Gordon had yanked us all in the back room while Andy was cooking the scallops. Gordon's voice cracked and he got tears in his eyes. He was so disappointed.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, I actually started putting, and I went down in tears, and that's kind of what led me into the whole, I'm just lost at this point. I always just kept screwing up scallops, screwing up lobster, so when my stuff's up in the past, I'm refiring carbonara, I'm refiring risotto, I'm refiring everything because Polly's keep getting sent back. So new orders are coming in, and I just got stuck. I think it was one time throughout the entire competition that I physically was stuck in the weeds.
Really?
And it was just overwhelming. But it's, it happens to everybody, and I tried to get help from my team, but no one wanted to help. Heather bombed out herself. Polly was screwing up, Ryan gave her best, we got garnish where it just, it were fragmented. We were all over the place, and we weren't working together, So it was just a really bad night. I felt bad for Andy. I was hoping that, she looked perfect for makeup. I don't want her to
Yeah.
And amazing, getting you. I always wonder about those little backroom chew outs that Chef Ramsay does. And for 16 seasons in, to see that his voice breaks and he gets teary eyed, amazing, just to show how still passionate it is about this, even this far into doing this competition.
Yeah.
Gordon is very passionate. Those feelings and the screaming and yelling. I mean, that's literally him being physically disappointed in us. And it's sad when you come that far, when he's handing you a black jacket and acknowledge that you were, the top 5, you were the best in that season.
Right.
Now here we are, letting him down. And it's terrible. It was a really terrible feeling, and I was so embarrassed for myself and for my team. There's a lot of famous people in the room that night. It was just, I think Pauly Shore. I was hoping.
Yeah.
Pauly Shore.
Oh God! It hung on to the path. That was a very Gordon with a bib on and lamb and tried to tell Gordon, "Excuse me, my lamb is fatty and it's raw." And Gordon was like, telling him, "F you."
Oh gosh. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's his kitchen. Yeah, it's his kitchen. He knows what's going on. You can't tell him what to do in his kitchen.
Yeah.
Who you are.
No. And I mean, you guys don't even get. You figure at Black Jackets, the bare minimum we can do is finish a table service.
Right.
You're not even able to finish the table service. Chef throws you out and makes Andy and Aaron. Sorry guys, you're not even finish your meal. Get back up, and start cooking.
Wow.
That was terrible for those guys.
Terrible.
It's awful.
That's terrible.
Disappointment. That was genuine on everybody's faces, and it's really sad. And even after getting kicked out, we still couldn't come together as a team, and it was everyone screwed up.
Yeah.
Screwed up, and honestly, I don't feel I could have actually gone up that night. I really feel, what they showed was me having a meltdown. I bolted for 2 minutes, bounced right back, and I really think Heather should have gone up that night over me.
Really?
I love her to death, kept a good relationship, but I feel that she should have gone up with Paul.
Yeah.
But at that point, I did what I wanted to do on that show. Myself, I wouldn't be the first for you to go home. But if I could, I wanted a black jacket. I promised my family that I was gonna, do my best so they could come out and be Gordon, because we watched all the shows as a family.
Wow.
It's not just me being a Ramsay, geek and things like that. It's totally family night watching all the shows.
Wow.
I promised everyone I would do my best. So to have that black jacket hanging in my closet, to me, I was happy. Even though I didn't win, I did my best.
Kimberly, yeah, I want to ask, because, like you said, you were eliminated in that episode, but also Pauly was eliminated too, and you didn't find that out until afterwards because you were eliminated first. Did that give any consolation to you, the fact that you guys were both eliminated at the same time? Or did it still, obviously no one wants to go home, there's only one winner. Did it feel any better, I guess is my question.
You know what? I did because I thought that Pauly had gone up, I think, 7 or 8 times.
Right.
And that was my second time, up in the chopping block, being up there for elimination. And to think that I would have been the only one gone home and he possibly could have had a chance, that would have just, it was awful. But, Pauly and I actually both been exited backstage, so I could hear someone else's voice. I'm like,
Yeah.
You got kicked out too.
yeah, I just had to share a car ride home.
Must have been a fun ride.
Car ride home.
Quiet.
Neither one of us talked. We were both, pretty disappointed in ourselves. Even though I got my black jacket, I still kind of had maybe an inkling, holy crap, maybe I got a chance at this thing.
Right.
But I don't know. I'm just glad that Pauly's chance was taken away.
Well, during that debate, when you guys are deciding who's going to be put up for elimination, Pauly's just digging his heels in, and he's really playing. It's like you guys are. It's like gender. I'm the last man standing. You guys are just trying to get me out. You're playing a girls' game. Pauly must have been annoying during that deliberation because it was annoying to watch him in that.
The entire season, Pauly was it's just like he was just a jerk. He was mean. He was You know, it was never Paulie's fault. It was never Paulie this, never Paulie that. He was perfect and always did good. And, you know, it wasn't. It had nothing to do with what was between his legs. You know what I mean? And he didn't really have too much there or but his head.
Oh, shoot. Shots fired.
Say, Aaron wasn't the only one shaking his thing around.
Oh. Exclusive.
Exclusive.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
Well, Kimberly, I will say before we let you go, I do like that Chef Ramsay did say that she was the most improved and had grown the most on the show. So I think that's something to take. I mean, great compliment with that. And I think, I mean, looked like he really took a liking to you. And you know, I mean, again, there's only one winner. And like you said, he's bae. You know what I'm saying? And I think he respected you. And I think, you know, looking at this, because I've, you know, like you said, I watched the show, you know, just about every single season. And I think when people like yourself don't go to culinary school or don't have a lot of experience and come on there and do well, I think he respects that.
Yeah.
He respects that. And like you said, to be in a black jacket, hello, I mean, that speaks volumes. Especially to be people that have gone to culinary school and that didn't make it this far, you know, you know what I'm saying? That's huge. That's huge. That's huge. Absolutely. Yeah.
Don't let bully you, and you know, just keep pushing and fighting and working hard and believing in yourself, and you know, anything can happen. You know, seriously, I mean, Trump's president, my God.
Anything can happen. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Before we let you go, I want to let the viewers and the fans what you're doing now, if they're in your area, that they could come, where you're cooking at, all that good stuff.
All right, right now I am in Rochester, New York.
Okay.
In culinary classes. I own the Bamboo Panda Catering Company. You can check me out on Facebook. Instagram, I'm at chef_Kim_1101. I have a pretty sweet Instagram account. And I'm actually in the middle of doing some pop-up dinners. Foley Hill Winery. I'm going to be doing a dinner with Warbox Brewing Company here in Rochester, New York. And I'm looking for space, trying to open my own restaurant.
Nice.
So hoping to be open, by early 2018. Got a couple of nice friends and some business partners that want to help me and get my dreams going and stuff like that. So I'm around, and I don't just do sushi. I obviously can do a lot of other stuff too. So check me out on Facebook and on Instagram, and we can get talking to you guys about taking some of my classes. And whatnot.
Yeah.
And coming to opening week to eat at your restaurant when it's up and running.
Exactly.
I know Lem will be knocking at your door.
VIP, son. We VIP. I'm telling you, man. Word. I love it. I love it. Well, thanks again, Kim. We appreciate you being on the show, and appreciate what you did on the show and how you stayed true to yourself and excelled and did what you did. So appreciate that.
Way to go, Kimberly.
Until next time, we'll see you.
Bye.
Yay. Bye-bye. Man.
I love the double elimination twist at the end of this, because I was not expecting Paul.
I was not expecting that either.
And
not at all.
But I was also glad too. I was like, please go.
He had to go.
Yes.
I mean, I would have rather had Kimberly stay over him. I mean, if two people were going to go, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you get to a certain point and then it's like you can't go any further. But I think that what she did and what she accomplished, like I said, not being, going to culinary school, no formal training, being able to, because really that's just sheer hard work.
Yes.
That's just really sheer hard determination. Yeah, she has a lot of questions, but she wanted it to be right. And I don't fault her for that. I think she should have done that.
No, I feel like that's a difference to like her asking questions because she just wants to make sure that what she's cooking is right, as opposed to Paulie would, for whatever his true intentions were, it just comes off as brown nosing.
It did look like brown nosing, very much so. I mean, and I think even they saw that.
Yeah.
Let's get into predictions because we got 3 more people left. So let's see what we think about that. I predict that I'm gonna get food after this
Yeah.
because I murdered this popcorn, and I need some food before I die.
I see that prediction coming true. I see your future, and I see it filled with food. For me, the prediction's short and sweet because I've been riding this horse from the beginning of the race,
Right.
man, and that's Ryan, man.
Yeah.
Now you can say you're jumping on board with me, but you're just you're on the bandwagon, my son.
I'm on the bandwagon. Oh man. When she was on the show, I was team Ryan. I've been team Ryan for the last few episodes. I have been because really, come on.
You're just looking for safe ground, man. You're looking for safe ground.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, I feel like definitely now that it's down to the top 3, I can't see either of the two of them beating her. I just can't.
No.
I can't see that. I could say probably top 2, maybe her and Heather. I don't know. But for sure, she's going to win. I cannot see the other 2 women beating her.
Yeah, it's a real toss-up, though, between Heather and Heidi, who would be going up against her. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it could be. I'm gonna probably go with Heidi over Heather. I think, but I think it's a narrow margin.
It's hard. it's hard to look at it. And like I said, it is a narrow margin. I just think, you look at Ryan and her consistency, like you look at the entire season, and I know that's what he looks at too. She's done the best. She's been the most consistent. Heather and Heidi have had shining moments, but I don't think they've been as consistent as her.
Yeah.
So, but of course, you got to take in consideration going forward when they put their teams together. That's a big deal. That finale when it's the top 2 and how they run their team, and that of course Ryan has always been criticized for not being as vocal.
I thought she did as a sous-chef. I thought she did well.
She did.
The whole team was kind of falling apart.
Right.
But in terms of she was not a mess when she was up there.
No, she wasn't. She proved that she can lead a team. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when it's the last 2, and how she performs. But yeah, I definitely think that there's nobody that can. The other 2 are not going to beat her.
No.
Plain and simple.
No.
Plain and simple.
Glad to see you're thinking things like I am now. Nice. All right. There you go.
Oh man. Anyway, that's been our show. We want to thank you so much for tuning in. We want to give a shout out to Kimberly for being on the show and holding it down. And it was great for her to be on that show because it was perfect. She was
2 perfect episodes.
2 perfect episodes for her. I am sorry to see her go because I did like her. I did like her personality. She was a light on the show.
Yeah.
And so she will be missed, but we got 3 more contestants, which means we got 2 more episodes.
That's right.
Man, down to the wire.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen anybody that's been limited with such a smile on her face as Kimberly was. She was just like, "This has been awesome to be around you." So thank you.
Well, yeah, and I think you get to a point where it's like I've done what I can do.
Yeah.
So no regrets. But yeah, shout out to her, and make sure you follow her. Make sure you get on her Instagram, and if you're in her area, take her classes because I'm sure they're great.
Yeah, keep an eye out for when a restaurant opens up and be some good eating.
Exactly. I've been your host, Slim Gonsalves. Again, you can find me at The Poet Saint all day, every day. Also, check my website, stayonthemic.com. Frank, where are you at?
I'm going to be following Lem as he goes over to the restaurant Tom's and grabs a burger. I'll be watching that, so follow me on Snapchat as I record that of Lem just chowing down on that food. Otherwise, you can follow me on Twitter at HappyGoJackie.
Oh, man. Until next week, we'll see you.
Lem needs food.